My name is Ash Manikum, part of Zanduzi Local Sports Confederation Transformation and Development Officer. And my profile is to make sure in all sports we can develop from the ground up in all areas in the sports. Well, in the difference of where sports used to be back in this country, we had an integration of a lot of the suburb areas and integration of diversity and inclusivity, which means we had many different groups coming from different areas coming together in a specific sport, which gave a unity to the entire city. The thing is about when you start off with kids at a very young age, it takes them off the street from getting involved in drugs, gangsterism, and all the unsavory things that you redirect them into becoming people in society that can work together as a team, can not have things like affecting them like in racism or in a sense of economy. Sports brings everybody together, and that's what we like to do. Start them off from young, so we change the future. If we do have more organizations doing this, that means we'll have a consistency of getting the kids off the street, right? Plus, you'll be able to raise up superstars for the future to come. If the kid is involved in something that they start loving to do and they're getting taken care of in that, that's what actually makes kids feel that they can achieve more things. So we as mentors and as people that can lead other kids in sport or the youth in sport, we want to make sure that it changes their perception. But having more programs like this year, having it set out for the year, that means you have a calendar and you can be dealing with all different types of sports, and this being basketball, it's literally a fairly new thing coming up in the past 10 years, and to create your superstars coming up from your suburban areas. And if we have the programs running through, we definitely will change the future for getting superstars in basketball back in this. Because if you had to compare anything from me being around in basketball from the 90s, early 90s, is when the status quo changed. We came out from an apartheid era, and we just started integrating everybody into sports, which was a brilliant eye-opener from people coming from suburbs who were secluded in those days. But in the administration of the sport, right, and I did mention this earlier on inclusivity, right, and diversity, you found out that the administration banded together to make sure that the kids had a platform to go on. So they had a roadmap. So we as leaders who have the brains and the experience and the aspect of directing where we want the child to go. A child doesn't know the end result. They just come up, they play games, and you tell them, hey, you need to go from one stage to the second stage to the third stage. If we have the administration fortified, right, where people can make a singular decision together, then the kids will not have a problem. The youth will know how we're going to guide them, and you can get them to the destination they desire. In the past 10 years or so, because of the lack of programs and the lack of administrators in the sense of having these sports, what happens is it diminishes the uses of the facilities, which created opportunities for vandalism, etc. Because there's no foot traffic. The kids are not using it because they don't even know what the sport is. But in getting the kids involved, it now forces sponsorships, it forces people who want to give back to the community to actually give back, to say, hey, you've got a group of kids there, we want to be able to support them. It's good for businesses' recognitions, and it's good for them to give back to the community. But we have to have the return of investment, which is your youth. You got to have your numbers, and the administrators set that up, and then you get the kids in by doing projects like this. So sponsors can say they know where their finances is going, and you can revamp facilities once again. Because the facilities, without a facility, you actually can't do anything. You can't make a phone call without a phone. You know, you gotta have to become successful. You gotta have the facility.